Hello, this is Molly Reamer with 30 Days of Goddess in Bridges Grove with this week's ritual of returning mini video ritual. It's a little bit of a different format this month. I'm traveling, as I've already explained in the past video. I've got my studios in a bit of disarray to make it more accessible for my sister who's doing the packing and shipping for us while we are gone. So bear with me and this little bit of a different format for the rest of the videos for this month. So anyway, I have a card to start with, actually just inviting you to take a minute, to take a pause, to call your spirit in, to settle into your body where you are right now, and then we can dive into our little ritual. So from the Urban Crow Oracle, we received card number 8, Commitment, which has this really sweet little illustration here of the committed pair, and some information from the book for that. And so the commitment card asks you to consider examining the areas in which you have entered into an obligation. Are you ready to put in the work that is needed? I feel like this is really relevant. Last week's card was about community. I do have my crow shirt on too. Last week's card was about community and tending to community and putting the effort in, not always just, sometimes we just want to receive and we have to give too. And so I think this commitment reminds us of that. We both give and receive. It reminds me of the 2 circles in woman runes which is the rune of merging and dividing. So we are both giving and receiving. And so have you entered into an obligation? Are you ready to put in the work that's needed? Are you willing to make a sacrifice to ensure that you can stay true to your word, that you can keep your commitment? I talk a lot about keeping our own promises to ourselves, about being in devotion to our own lives, about keeping our commitments to ourselves. It's really easy to break promises to ourselves because nobody else sees them a lot of times. And so this card might also ask you to consider, how are you keeping your own promises to yourself? Are you sticking with your path of devotion to your own life? Are you willing to sacrifice something? If this is a goal that you're committed to seeing through to completion, do you actually want to invest the time and resources needed? Do you actually have the time and resources needed to invest them in those things? Do you want to offer that or not? Think about commitments you have made. Do you feel a heaviness associated with any of them? Do you feel, for me, it's like a closed-in sensation or a light and free sensation? How do you feel when you evaluate the commitments and the commitments that you've made in your life? And so, of course, and this is a good reminder, we all have moments where we're feeling less than enthusiastic. So it's not like, if you're in a bad mood, it's not always the commitment's fault. If you're in a bad mood, if you've had like a hard day, for me, sometimes I will do like I should just quit everything, it's all too much. And it turns out all I needed was 2 hours alone to focus, and it's not too much anymore. But sometimes the sensation of heaviness, weightiness, irritation, resentment, agitation is your sign that something needs to be different or something needs to be let go. So consider your commitments, evaluate your commitments, and keep your promise. If it's a promise that you want to be keeping, keep your promise. And if it's not a promise that you want to be keeping, perhaps reevaluate that commitment. And then I wanted to go ahead and share, along the same lines, I guess. I'm going to share my own poem from this anthology, Warrior Queen, the Girl Gods Morrigan anthology. And this is a good one, I think, connected to what we just talked about. This is Where You Are Supposed to Be. What if staying safe and comfortable is not where you're supposed to be? What if it isn't supposed to be easy? What if that raw edge to your nerves, that streak of pain on your skin, that pang in your heart are the signs that your soul is growing, that you're on the verge of an emergence that would not be possible without being exactly where you are right now, wild-eyed, sharp-edged, weary, ragged, fierce, and howling? What if? What if staying safe and comfortable is not where you're supposed to be? And I do think sometimes, I'm a big fan of self-care. It's very important. Sometimes our practice of self-care can lull us into kind of trying to stay in a small box, staying safe and contained and comfortable. And sometimes we need to be ragged, fierce, and howling. Sometimes we need to feel that sting of pain, that pang of loss, that sign that something needs to change. Like, we need to feel that in order to stretch past our edges. And so that brings me to the next thing I want to share, which is a prayer for my little Morrigan booklet for this month's Goddess Guidance Club. And this is a good one. This is if I do say so myself. So this will be the prayer that we close with for today. Morrigan, I call upon you today. Please fly with me. Please help me to choose my path with care, to wield my power with determination, to trust in my own magic, and to act with deep devotion and intention. Please help me to lean into the expansiveness of possibility. Help me to sense the field of creation. Help me to enjoy the sunlight on my feathers and listen to the singing in my soul. Please help me to weave the threads of my life together into a work both beautiful and strong. Thank you so much for being here today. May you continue to weave your threads together into a work both beautiful and strong. May you keep your promises to yourself. May you be in devotion to your own life. And may you tend to your commitments with honor, love, and care. Thank you so much for being here. Keep living your magic. Bye-bye.